It's Tuesday on Yourview. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Alaja Nima Akashat Zabiri, how are you today?
Fine, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Morning. So I wanted to share that prank I played. My son had a domestic accident over last week, I think on Wednesday or Tuesday night. Tuesday was when I was off. So he lost the front two teeth.
Jesus.
Was cut in half. A slight fall, just tipped in my room, and that was it. So he was now crying, and I thought it was a small, because he didn't really fall. Yeah. Even I was laughing that, see, your rough play has gotten you injured. Yeah. We'll go and rest. And then I saw it was bleeding all over. Yikes. So we treated it, and he was holding his mouth one way, as if, you know, crying and saying, I'm hot. I was like, man, if you do like this, I know somebody that is like this now. I said, when we were little, my elder sister, she had a ball, and she had her lips swollen because she had plucked the ball. And she used to cry, oh, come mommy, for me. And, you know, I now shared the story that, see, you just go like that. He said, I forgot that we'll see over the weekend. The moment he saw my sister, he confronted her. He said, when your mommy was small, she had a fall. She was like, come mommy, for me. He told everybody. Then he went to my sister. I just saw him behind my sister. Big mommy. My mommy said, I said, God, I ran away. My sister said, yeah, it's your mother. And we were just laughing about it. But you know those past things, she was like, you didn't tell your son all the time I defended you in secondary school. When you used to cry, it's the one that I had a fall that you had to tell your son. But this is the beautiful part of
I'm telling you, it's all about
I really enjoyed my childhood.
Number two, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Last week I went for this a workshop at SON in Abuja.
Oh, nice. It
was a very lovely one, even though I tried to get pictures. I made a friend there. So I told her, take pictures in front of the banner, right? And I gave her my phone, and she said, no, don't worry, I'll use my phone. I said, okay. I snapped. By the time I saw the pictures, I saw that I overshadowed the banner, so I couldn't see anything. And I was like, ha! Yeah, and you know, while we were at the workshop, she came and tapped me, and she was like, smile. I smiled, you know, I really smiled. She took pictures. And I looked at the pictures, I was like,
what is this?
Good intention, but
the execution was very...
She's in my boots. Don't ever tell me to take pictures.
No.
How are you doing, Takwe?
I'm doing very well, grateful to God. So Mondays are usually very packed, but my wonderful baby of the house is really behaving like a baby. They call him whiny Sam. Whiny, everybody, like any little thing, he's going to drag it. And I'm trying to curb it. Based on last week's show, I went back home and said, oh, nobody should be naked around the house. My house is a boys' hostel, so they can run downstairs naked. And I'm like, you guys are not babies anymore. I told my house girl, please, I don't want you to see my children naked anymore. I told my children, don't let anybody see you naked anymore. Everybody... Guess what? Since that Friday that we did the execution, nobody has been taking their bath with soap and sponge. They've just been doing rub and shine. And Peace was like, since you say I should not be monitoring them, they've not been using soap to take their bath anymore. I say, what?
Russian, boys.
No. We are not going to do this. But it's a new season. But I really want them to get that level of... You might have to deal with other people, understand privacy, understand the importance of protecting your private part, because you might trust this current maid and we have a new maid that is not trustworthy. So it's important. So I'm letting audience know that even though us on this show, we are also learning from ourselves and trying to implement it immediately.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done. Me, I'm just... I'm loving the fact that my kids are obeying, obeying my rules in the house. I love it. You come to the house and everybody's just... You pop in the afternoon and everybody's just doing something else. You know, Elizabeth turns on the radio. The other kids are doing other things. They know that TV doesn't come out until 4 p.m. And I don't know how that thing was able to. And they actually are here.
Grandma, they are just next door. They're not shunt.
No, they go. In fact, Michelle goes to... No, they try to. they tried to go to the neighbors, and I heard, of course, they would rat on each other. That Michael went to Kiniko's house to go and watch TV. Of course, I called Michael. The idea for you not to waste, because I want you to do other things aside from television.
Yeah.
And honestly, they are really all checking each other.
You give me secret too.
I'm telling you, I was even shocked myself. I shocked myself.
It's because they are reporting each other.
They are reporting each other. So 4 to
Our own will be there
10
teaming up.
p.m. they're on TV, and that's it. Till the next day, and somehow it's working.
Have you
So
introduced
you guys should try it. Try it.
No, I
Have you
need
introduced
code.
the board games?
So yes, we bought some
Scrabble,
board
Monopoly.
games. Just give them options. So they are playing with. They have quite a bit of neighbors. So
I need
at least
code, though.
that's helping me.
Interesting.
The man did not bed till 4 p.m. yesterday. He watches TV in my mother-in-law's flat. Everything he does, he just whines my mother-in-law. He has a rack.
We will find
That's how grandmas
solutions.
are enough.
I need
Yeah, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Law compels all employers to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage. Igboho slams faceless protesters plotting to destabilize government. Tight security in state, FCT over planned protests. Zenith Bank set to raise 290 billion naira capital through rights issue and public offer. 10,000 public recruits begin training August 10th. FGOK sale of crude to Dangote, others in Naira. And NCC directs telcos to restore barred lines. Okay, story.
Major headline. So congratulations to all of us workers. The president yesterday signed the minimum wage into law, the minimum wage bill into law yesterday. And he was very grateful to the National Assembly for the speedy passing of the bill. And he says, this is the minimum. This is not the maximum. So employers can pay upwards, but they cannot pay downwards. Henceforth, all employers are mandated to pay 70,000 lowest salary according to the new Minimum Wage Act, and that's law yesterday. And it was witnessed by the National Assembly leadership, led by the Senate President, of course. And the President was, thankful for the expeditious passing of the bill. Also, the 2024 Appropriation Act will be ready tomorrow, according to the Senate President, when he reassured the President that they will do the needful to finish up with the 2024 Appropriation Act.
Again, I applaud Labour. This is an improvement. This is something that anybody who's collecting that salary now is thankful that, Labour took on that fight.
If you're a copper, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
I was a copper when, yes, I was a copper when when minimum wage was made 14,000. It was us that first of all received it.
So you mean these people serving now will go from 35 to 70,000?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic.
Wow, for them.
Ah,
The Dangote refinery and other local refineries will henceforth pay Naira to access crude from the NNPCL. That's following yesterday's directive by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The presidential order followed an approval by FEC at this 9th meeting where, beside the adoption of the Naira as currency trading for the local operators, the president also directed NNPCL to immediately commence engagement with local refineries in the Naira-denominated transaction. I think this is huge.
Yeah, it's a big
Briefing reporters after FEC meeting, FIR's boss said the directive also affects the sale of products from Dangote and other refineries. The transaction must be conducted in Naira. So this is exciting news because one of the issues we had is so much dependence on this dollar. And now the president is saying, this is crude, it's our property, now us get them. So therefore, sell it to ourselves in Naira. Don't use the international. OPEC can decide whatever price they want to price. In our own country, this is the price we are going to be selling it to each other. And then it encourages local refiners to also buy from us because right now some of them are actually paying in dollars and it's quite, and it is
Especially when
put
they
a lot
don't
of
have
pressure.
this huge capacity. Some of these local refineries can only do maybe 50,000 barrels daily. But
Yeah.
now that we have a bigger one like Dangote and we have...
Yes, I'm pretty excited for refiners. Hopefully we'll see the...
He will be happy. He will reduce the complaining. He has been complaining since. Let me take Igboho's story. So he's a major proponent of the Yoruba nation. He's an activist. Chief Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, has distanced himself from the protest that is set to take place on the 1st of August. He's applauding the president for the revolutionary policies, in his words. He also mentioned that especially the minimum wage that has been signed right now. Then he spoke about the fact that all through the time when former President Buhari was in power, nobody raised a protest calling for his exit, because he said that some of the people are clamoring that Tinubu must go, is the slogan they are using for the protest, and they are threatening 10 days of rage. So he's of the opinion that while the constitutionally enshrined part of protest is normal, he is of the opinion that this is not the regular protest we're expecting to see, that he recognizes that there is economic hardship, but it's a global phenomenon, it's not just unique to Nigeria, and that since he's released from an unjust detention, I'm quoting him, by the former president, he said he has traveled extensively across Europe and Africa, other African countries, has seen the hardship everybody is facing, and is happy that there's a lot of policy going on to address those issues, and is distancing himself and his entire organization from the protests scheduled for 1st of August.
Okay, yeah, so I have the story of the police, the 10,000 police recruits that have been recruited recently and will soon start their training. So they said the Police Recruitment Board has approved the 10th of August 2024 for the commencement of training for successful applicants of the 2022 Constable Recruitment Exercise. They said the candidates are expected to confirm their status by logging into the recruitment website to confirm further details on the training. They said specialist applicants are, however, to resume training 2 months after that of their general duty counterparts. Information on dates and venues for their own specialized training will be announced in due course.
All right, moving on to the Punch. Hardship protests, security agencies begin massive soldiers and police deployment. Tinubu means, well, let's give him more time to rescue Nigeria, says Tunji Ojo. NIN linkage, NCC orders SIM restoration as angry subscribers protest. Kiamo directs suspension of the NAMA's 800% charge hike. 32 arrested for attacking federal government inspection team, Abuja politicians fueling banditry, says Benue governor. PSC invites 10,000 new constables for training in August. And Labour excited as Tinubu signs 70,000 naira minimum wage into bill. Okay, which story?
So I have the NCC story. The NCC yesterday, in a statement issued by the Director of Media and Public Affairs, Ruben Maoka of the NCC, he explained that they've given a directive to all the networks to restore blocked telephone lines. And this was in response to the widespread disruption and subscribers' outrage caused by the blockade. And because we know you took the story on Sunday, most of the networks blocked some lines, and this caused, of course, chaos in most of their offices, where we saw videos of the subscribers fighting and damaging things. So the NCC has directed them to do an unblocking of those lines. And they say that consumer is our priority. Therefore, considering the challenges the blockages have caused the Commission has directed all operators to reactivate all lines that were disconnected over the weekend because of short time available for consumers to undertake the verification of their NIN with their SIM. It's also clarified that consumers should note that their reactivation was for a limited period to allow them properly link their NIN to their SIM. And they urge all subscribers who have not yet done so to now take advantage of the extension to do it, because the mandatory linkage of NIN with SIM that was initiated in 2020 is towards our growth and is to enhance our database of ownership of each line. So it's important.
Okay. We're going to have them on the show later today, so we'll have more clarity. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Yourview will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Let me take the Kiamo story. So the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency has suspended its earlier announcement to increase charges to 800% based on the directive of the minister. So they've gone back on that. It disclosed this in a statement by the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, NAMA, Mr. Abdullahi Musa, on Monday. On Friday, NAMA announced its intention to raise its navigation charges by 800%. That's a lot of increment. A decision that raised concerns from both passengers and also the stakeholders in that sector. So the managing director of NAMA, obviously was speaking, saying that the minister had insisted or redirected that all charges be reversed concerning this increment, and the new units minimum charge in routes was set to increase to 18,000. Was actually increased from 2,000 to 18,000. That's the 800% we're talking about. So hopefully we'll get the new charges soon, but they've asked them to reverse it as of this morning's report.
Okay, so I have the story of the Zenith Bank set to raise 290 billion capital. The bank GMD CEO, I quote, Deme Umoji, said, "We signed the transaction documents with respect to Zenith Bank's 290 billion rights issue and public offer. This is slightly above the 230 billion required for us to meet the CBN's minimum recapitalization requirements." They said the rights issue offers 5,232,748,964 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each at 36 naira per share, while the offer for subscription presents 2,767,251,036 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each at 36.50 per share. He said it also allows existing shareholders the opportunity to purchase additional shares in proportion to their current holdings, and is being offered on the basis of 1 new ordinary share for every 6 existing ordinary shares held as of July 24th. So if you want to buy shares now, it's open to the public. You can.
Okay.
At 36
All
naira.
right. So I have the story of 32 people.
So is there a reason why Punch is thick today?
There must be some.
There's something inside.
What's there? Okay, audited financial statement.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's always. It was very heavy.
Huge.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so 32 people have been arrested. This is, it happened on Monday. The Lagos State Police Command visited the federal government, the Federal College of Education Technical in Akoka area, said that some people attacked federal government's inspection team that visited the school, and based on the attack of that inspection team, the students were arrested. Some students now sent voice notes, sent messages, sent pictures to the reporter who carried this story on what really happened, according to them, that they had been protesting the bad state of the school environment, and based on their protest was why police officers were brought in, and the police officers were shooting tear gas into the air. They got 17 seconds video that the correspondents watched that showed the police shooting tear gas into the air and police arresting staff members and also beating off staff members. The allegation was that from the provost of the college, Wahab Aziz, he claims that the protesting students were instigated by members of staff who are eyeing his position, that he understands what the students want. He was formerly a student union person, and so he does not have any issue with the student, but he knows that the students are complaining now based on the instigation of some staff members. However, the students replied by sharing videos of their hostel and how dilapidated it is, rotten wood, part of the building, the restroom was really in bad state. So they said rotten wood, restroom being bad, and the tank was broken, were the reasons they were protesting.
I saw videos of the students. I shared it to the group yesterday, and the federal government Ministry of Education team came to settle a management level issue between the provost and some other members of, I think, Senate within the school. This team had their cars parked and saw students with sticks, stones. In fact, if you see the way they vandalized one of the SUVs, if you see the way they destroyed it, how is that addressing? How is that addressing the issues the students are saying?
They didn't carry that one in this.
Because we said with students before. I don't understand. How is vandalizing those cars, those guys that were breaking all those cars, how does it address the issues the students are saying? If you have a federal government team within school, wouldn't you want to get their attention to take them on it? Or do you want to scare them away so that they don't ever come again? So later on, the police then intervened and we saw tear gases flying. The videos are online.
I
think they've handled it somehow.
I don't even want to get into that conversation because it's deeper than this.
Yes, it is.
It's
Always
deeper than
cultural.
this. It's cultural, it's mental, it is conditioning.
Yes.
I saw the videos and I said to myself,
It's
God,
conditioning.
don't let my child ever get to this level. That's
Because
not
I have
addressing
told you that I've
anything.
gone to schools where you're saying, well, even how lecturers are communicating, because the kids they have no regard, no respect.
There was another grievance.
Some of them, not all of them,
Yeah.
some of them don't have that
Taking
constitutional
out the
respect.
people's cars.
We see, we've hailed
They
them.
couldn't even live safely. And how is that addressing, getting the
Issues
attention of
you
federal
have.
government to
Daily Sun, please.
We're able to
Matter
use
plenty.
tear gas.
I don't want to get into it.
Plenty
Daily
special.
Sun. Nationwide protest, National Assembly summons emergency meeting. Igbo youth dissociate themselves from planned protests, Nnamdi Kanu's release. Customs declares 2.74 trillion naira revenue, surpasses target. 2024 Hajj, 30 Nigerians died in Saudi Arabia. NCC orders immediate reactivation of lines that were barred by the NIMC verification issues. FEC approves sale of the crude to Dangote and others in Naira. And Tinubu signs 70,000 Naira minimum wage into bill. Okay, which story are we taking in Daily
The
Sun?
chairman of the National Hajj Commission, Jalal Ahmed Arabi, said that Nigeria lost 30 pilgrims during this year's Hajj. Allah forgive them and grant them Jannah. He said, but not all the 30 Nigerians who died due to the harsh weather. You know, this year's Hajj was welcomed by very harsh heat weather in the Saudi, where they had high temperatures of heat in Hajj. And, you know, a lot of people suffered, a lot of people died because of that. But he said, no, that not all 30 of them died because of the harsh weathers. The Hajj Commission also tried as much as possible to ensure that they were safeguarded. They also insisted that they provided the pilgrims with umbrellas, new innovation fans to keep them cool. The exposure to harsh weather and conditions were, you know, they tried as much as possible to provide succor for them. And they said they lost pilgrims, but not all of them died due to the heat. He also explained the 90 billion intervention that was done by the federal government. He said this was spread equitably, such that every pilgrim was assisted. He said they did not have to pay an additional 4.9 million because of that 90 billion that was shared. He said they could only cater conveniently for about 18,000 intended pilgrims out of the 50,000 duly registered persons for this year's Hajj. Subsequently, the appreciation of Naira also affected how the money was disbursed, so they needed that intervention. He said each pilgrim was supported with about 1.6 million, and except those under the Hajj savings scheme who enjoyed more.
Because some of them complained.
Towards it, he says, so they got better pay. Those under the Hajj savings scheme are required to pay a balance of 1.9, so because they got more. But the 90 billion was not sufficient to make up the balance. However, it was distributed equitably, and new registrants were made to pay 8.4 million for the Hajj.
Okay, so the Ohanese Ndigbo youths have said that they would not be part of the proposed nationwide protest over the growing hardship in the country. According to them, they argued that it was better for the people of the region to continue to engage with government to address their grievances than participate in a protest that is currently faceless. They made their position known at the emergency meeting Ohanese Ndigbo Youth Wing Worldwide, comprised of various youth groups from that region. The national leader of the Ohanese Youth Wing, Chukwuma Okpala-Kwezu, said the Igbo had every cause to protest the long years of marginalization, neglect suffered in Nigeria. But however, they believe that if this protest continues, that many of the properties owned by Igbos are going to suffer the most. And they feel that there's no point in when their properties, their businesses are destroyed, and they're trying to rebuild that when there are still other issues they have. So they would rather continue to engage the federal government to ensure the development of that region than be part of a protest that they're not even sure who is organizing it.
Okay, so I want to take the story of customs. The customs happily declared that they surpassed their target for the first half of this year. The target they had was that they were going to earn 2.5 trillion, but they surpassed it by 8%, and they were able to collect 2.74 trillion. The figure marks a 127% increase over the previous year. In 2023, what the revenue has between the first half of the year, and this 2024 first half of the year shows a 127% increase. The statement came from the spokesperson of Customs, Abdullahi Maiwada, who made the disclosure while collecting on what was collected in the second quarter of 2024, also exceeding what was collected in the second quarter of 2023. So generally, they are doing better in terms of revenue collection. They've also done better in terms of seizing people that escaped duty paid value. They said they made the seizures they made was over 2,442 seizures were made in just the first half of 2023, and they were able to double that in 2024. So generally, they are feeling very, very good about the progress they have enjoyed.
They have KPIs now.
Yes, so
many of them, so they are constantly coming out to tell us what they are doing. They have been forced to have
the system is
causing them to actually have these data for us. The point, amid protests, debate, Tinubu signs nationwide national minimum wage bill into law. My doctor damaged my womb, connived with my husband to bury my child. Woman laments and seeks justice. It's wrong for funding of local government to come from the federal government, says Isesage. And Keyamo overrules NAMA, suspends planned 800% levy hike. Okay.
I had the woman who lost her womb.
Oh, there's another human interest. Man with 10 children commits suicide after wife gave birth to twins. Okay, go ahead.
So I can't find my picture immediately, and the point is not an online link I have. But the woman's account was that a qualified doctor, had helped her husband in a procedure which he authorized, damaged her womb, and she's asking that, calling for justice, that the doctor be arrested and her husband be also prosecuted.
You need it?
Quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
So her name is Mrs. Latifa Aina Abib. She's crying out for justice, of course, in Oshogbo again. A practicing medical doctor in Oshogbo, Dr. Ola Yode Akongbe Shakiru, performed a cesarean session on her. She accused the doctor, said to be in the state government's employment, of conniving with her estranged husband who has left, Akim Adekonye, to secretly bury her newly born child after claiming that the baby died. And she said that she had been in a lifelong mess after the incident, which occurred since January 2022. She also said that she's been battling serious health challenges due to the alleged unprofessional errors committed by the doctor. Obviously, this must have been that, the procedure was not done according to medical standards. And of course, she has suffered that. She said she's sold most of her properties to cater for her health and that she's not yet recovered from the damage done to her body. She's asking for justice, and she's hoping that, it is served. I hope that the police also she said the police have arraigned him for medical negligence. She's hoping that, justice is served as well. So
another man, a middle-aged man, Benjamin Ode Unweha, in Ebonyi State, reportedly committed suicide after one of his wives gave birth to a set of twins. So according to the report, Unweha married two women that they both had 10 children for him before one of his wives then had another set of twins, but unfortunately she died. And so I guess suspecting from the fact that the burden these two additional children would cause on him, he gave his life. He took his life, and they found him in his living room, lifeless. Wow. Moving on, our final paper, Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. FG begins sale of 50 kg rice for 40,000 naira. Fake OK's 1.44 trillion naira road contracts. 19 million adolescent girls face intimate partner violence before the age 20. Okay, which story? Okay, so the Minister for National Orientation, it's the rice that is a sense. So the Minister for Information, Ahmed Idris, has announced that we'll start selling rice across several centers across the country, 50 kg bags for 40,000. He said this after FEC meeting yesterday. Short. Yeah, and that's short. Is that all? Yeah, you can go on. You have 2 seconds left. Okay, so we have the gunman kill customs officer, abduct one in Kebbi. So they said the public relations officer, Muhammad Salisu, said government trailed the anti-smuggling squad to their base at Koko, destroyed facilities, killed one officer, Dabo Umar, and abducted one, Babagana Kabiru. They said when they got there that he went to the families to go and, condole them and all. And then he now said that they went the family, and then, the family now said that
they are going to make sure that the one that was abducted will be
Released as well.
released as soon as possible.
Okay. That's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. When we come back with our next segment, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So yesterday we started discussing how telecommunications operators have blocked millions of lines from making and receiving calls in a move to perfect the linking of subscribers' NI, and that's the national identification numbers, with all active SIMs. Later in the day, many Nigerians were seen causing disruption, as you can see in the videos, in some centers across the country. However, the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, ordered operators to immediately reconnect all phone lines that were blocked. So joining us on the show very soon, we're having Kayode Adegoke, Mr. Kayode Adegoke. He is the head corporate communications of the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC. That's the agency in charge of the National Identification Number, known as NIN. So he'll be joining us in a moment, but before we go into inviting him, I'd like us to talk about the videos that are making the rounds yesterday, because many, as expected, many Nigerians swarmed into some of the telcos to demand reactivation of their lines. And we saw quite a bit of disruption being happened, where they're destroying property, destroying quite a bit of property across various telco offices. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 081 0764 1679, 0902 4163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourviewTVC so we can read the tweets. What do you make of those videos?
Worrisome.
Worrisome. Nigerians are terribly upset. At any slightest opportunity, they make sure that they, abuse everything and all. I was affected too. My line was bad. And, my neighbor said he was going to the office. He was going to MTN office to go and get it done. I called him later on, and he said he was number 250 on the line to get his own resolved. And I was like, by the time I get there, I'll be maybe 2,000 and something, And then, we struggled and trying to register the line to put the NIN, because I've registered my line before. So I don't know why all of a sudden it got bad.
Yes.
So I tried to register back, and the portal was congested. You can't log on, nothing. It was not possible. And the numbers too, to call them, their customer care line, the numbers too were not going. So everything was just congested yesterday. So I can understand that some Nigerians were not patient enough. But then vandalizing their office, this is always the problem when it comes to Nigerians. Whenever we want to protest or something, we always think of violence, and it's not always the right way to do things, honestly.
You're talking about earlier, Nima, about the students doing almost similar, the same thing. Mm-hmm. And this is what they see, adults, those of you that are not in school, you're doing exactly the same thing. So the kids in universities, in schools, they are all students. They see adults behave exactly the same way. So we keep saying some leaders, even leaders in the National Assembly, sometimes we see them carrying mace. Yeah. They are always carried, sometimes not in recent times, yes, but we've seen it before in our own lifetime. We've seen at least 2 or 3 experiences.
Yes.
So this is what trickles down to what we see in universities. We can, and some of us, we sit down in our small office and say, we like to protest, we have to come and talk to people. At least the people we want to talk to. No, but they're not going to listen. Nima.
I saw the video from Mediakwe yesterday in Ibadan. My heart break. They were not even tearing gates like Festa. I've experienced Festa crowding before. It's not something I wish for even an enemy. Mm-hmm. But I saw that one where they giving them chair, and I was thinking, who would they send outside to speak to these people? The person said, who have 10 minds, he must have liver plus livers to come and speak with them. They were obviously angry. And yesterday when we took it as a hot topic, I kept saying, what would be the machinery for dealing with people who are now frustrated from blockage of their lines, you know. There should be some form of ease of getting in and unlinking the lines, or linking the lines, or unblocking the lines. So, you know, there should be some ease. You see that all of you sit down one place. Oh yeah, you come. Don't, you see, it will put people off. Because if, God forbid, if I could lose temper sitting down, we didn't even have chairs. They even had chairs. In first act, you are going to be outside the gate at the mercy of whatever you are experiencing there until one security passes you. All of you, no matter how plenty you are outside the gate until somebody passes you. When they pass you, you go to one canopy side and sit down.
Yeah.
From there, they will call you in.
Yeah.
So if they don't pass you, and God forbid you are with the crowd outside and the canopy is full, now there you go there.
But Nima,
It's not a good experience. We must find better ways.
I've said, in my own lifetime, I've been to an American embassy where it's like that. I mean, they've changed the process now, thank God. But there's been time where there was crowd until they call you in, and people will comport. You just see the crowd. They will comport themselves. They don't fight. They don't destroy the embassy's fences because if the 100 has gone in, you've not called my name. They will just stay and wait. But when it comes to Nigerian-owned businesses, we confront it. We always feel like nothing can happen. But once it has to do an international organization, people somewhat have to respect themselves.
I can't imagine spending the whole day just to unblock a line. Especially because we've linked these lines online by
so there's frustration. So I was bad to Nima.
If you are there for even minimum of 4 hours, it's waste of productive time. You know, we must address that as well. I don't support the violence, but...
And then 200 people in a small enclosed office.
So obviously, we're not as civilized as we think we are.
At all. I've always said that.
And I think that it's not... We would excuse it, because if I say, oh, this is so horrible, this is not un-Nigerian, it's a lie. This is very Nigerian. This is what we do. We are very good with protests like this, and we are very good with getting aggressive. Nigerians find it easy to lash out in anger. Everybody tries to dominate the other person with the authority the authority they have. So I've been at the airports, all of us were there. They delayed flight 2 years ago, and they canceled the flights. And someone called me that they are going to cancel, they've canceled your flight. The person knows me from TV, and the person said, they're going to cancel your flight. Nobody will come and announce it to you. Everybody has left the place that you can start going. So I was already going out. When the announcement came out, the police officer that had the misfortune of trying to calm down people from destroying the properties of the company, the airline that canceled our flights, was beaten and injured. He's a police officer. His own job was just say, please, just don't destroy property. They're not around. They will resolve the issue. Just hold on. He got beaten. That is something that we need to address. We're not as civilized as we think we are. Many people, you are thinking with your head, oh, let us have a very peaceful protest. Let us resolve this matter very well. The people that you are going to join in the protest, they are not interested. They have their own agenda. They are angry and aggressive. And it might start with good intention, but see that video. This is the one for Ibadan is even the one in Lagos. People using their bare hands to pull down
the gate.
Let me pause you for a second.
Barricade.
We see a copper. I'm not sure what her role is.
She
was going to appeal.
She knelt down, she appealed, and the stoning stopped.
So this is a young person that just got out of university that's gone to service, went to university, has gone to serve her nation. Now she's talking to you adults who should know better to calm down, because she recently taught in university.
So in Nigeria, we have plenty old people who don't have elders soon. God forgive me.
But another thing again, we need to try to avoid.
Elders are not sitting at home, and necks of babies are bending very well. We don't have elders. You know, elders are the ones who have foresight, who say, oh, if he goes this way, this and this and this might happen. If he goes that way, X and X and X might happen. So let's avoid this, let's do this, let's do this. Those who have the voice of caution, who people would listen to. We don't have elders again. In fact, in the first place, how did we get here? If we had elders, you go into their families, everybody is old, but nobody is thinking, oh, my child, you cannot do this. Okay, let's find this alternative, X and X. No. Everybody is saying, you two don't greed. Don't greed for them. Don't shake any, you know. Nobody is thinking, oh, what if you did? What if it was an eggshell rule case?
I connect with what you're saying, Nima, because I have been to a situation whereby you expect the adults in the situation to know better, but half of them don't. And I told you, my offline was bad. Right now, you can't reach me. I can only communicate on WhatsApp. Nobody can reach me. I went yesterday, and there was a lady who was trying to start up. She was just shouting. And she was shouting, she wanted them to attend to her. They kept saying, the ones with the numbers have entered. They'll call the next 50. I think it's maybe 50 at a time that goes in one at a time. What's your own number? Her number was there 200 or something. You have to wait till they get your turn. So they put them in 50 by 50. They come inside, you sit down, and you sit down, and they're taking them one by one. So, but she was shouting, but she's made since 8:30 in the morning, and it was around 4 o'clock. Of course, she'll be frustrated. But unfortunately, we can't hit you because it's almost 5 o'clock. So we can't get your number. You have to come back tomorrow. Now, she started shouting. They let her to come inside. Then they told the manager, spoke to her and explained to her. Eventually, she left. But how many people can they explain to?
Well, that is the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. Allowing her to get in, I'm so sorry. You see, allowing her to get in, that's the problem. Once you don't have a standard, in Nigeria, being polite, you get cheated. Being polite, you are the fool. They will walk all over you. Being patient, you will not eat. The patient dog in Nigeria does not get any bone. The patient, you will get crumbs.
Because of her shouting.
Yes. So in Nigeria, if you are polite and courteous, you will get walked all over.
Yeah.
So people have developed the ability to say,
Survivor.
they will just behave like this for you. You go there and shewere for one.
Yes.
When you shewere for one, they will answer you.
Said it
so
on this show
everybody
a few
has
times.
become shewere for them. So that because, you know, if you go there and say, speak English, sit down, the person that does were will enter inside, they will answer. The other person that does were will enter inside. You are sitting down as polite. I went to school, I'm educated, I'm proper. You will sit down there for 3 hours, they will close. But the person that was shouting will enter and they will sort the person out. So we have created a system that encourages this radical behavior.
Okay, so since we know that Nigerians will behave like this, I'm saying that the MTN office or the NIN should avoid this kind of situation.
How?
So like the way, you know, they were supposed to bar the lines on the 31st. You did it before the 31st. That's number one. And number two, someone like me,
if they did it on the 31st, same thing's going to happen.
No, more.
But let's try as much as possible and not put plenty people in plenty Nigerians together.
Let's think about it. Okay, they buy it on 31st. All of us will still swamp to that office because many people do not.
On or before. So MTN that has paid several fines, Abi, we did not take the news of them, and the FIRS, we did not take the news of them. MTN has been paying fine. I was saying to my neighbor yesterday, they said, this buying will save. I said, well, if you know the experience of what you have paid, you will say, I cannot be caught wanting. MTN could buy the line so that NCC will not say it. So MTN, X number of phones that were not bad on time, MTN should come and pay the fine.
Nima, we were all in this country. When they announced time to register for voting, how many is that voting when
Yes, so we waited for months, it's last minute.
They will extend it. We're all in this country during COVID. Go and take your vaccine. They kept extending it. Nigerians, it was on that last day. Last day. All of us will shop. That's who we are.
Me now, I want to move my voters polling unit back to my estate. I'm already doing the process as we speak now because I got my NIN in 2014. The month they announced that we should do it, I went to Alausa and did it. I still went back again on one verification process. The truth is, this can be done. Yeah. And then I will beg the telcos, no matter what the cost is, schedule each person. You know the number of people you blocked in the various states and locations and your offices that are there. Send a date. So, at least a week's notice. Your line process for unblocking, if you're interested.
They sent me
but let them send it. No, I'm saying give them dates for unblocking. Yes. So we don't have this crowd of people at your offices. So maybe Tokwe should come on Thursday, and I would have sent the notice on Monday. You have been notified that unblocking of your number is scheduled for Thursday. Bring your details and so come. Exactly. Your SMS is in your phone. If you don't come Thursday, you have your problem. I will not even listen to you. Then you do it like that. At least you will see, out of every unsane people, you will see same people that will come on time.
Let me go on a very short. We're going to come back and meet our guest. Mr. Kayode Adegoke is waiting for us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining us now to discuss this connection is Mr. Kayode Adegoke. He's the Head Corporate Communications of the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much for having me on your favorite program, TV Continental.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning, Mr. Kayode. So tell us, we heard that you've instructed the telcos to reconnect our lines. Is that correct?
That's
Hello? Hello, Mr. Adegoke. Hello, sir. We can't hear you. Okay, so I don't know.
I was going to talk about, before we go into even the NIM perspective, we have a challenge in Nigeria. I was talking to my team yesterday. I recorded some videos 2 weeks ago, and we discovered that the audio was not good. They say the video was not good, Sha. So I told the head of my media team, I said, see, you didn't check the work your assistant did for a full week. It took us 1 week before we discovered the video was not good, which means that we don't have a system and a process. If you don't create a system, you'll be repeating the same problem over and over again. We must create a system to stop things from going wrong. We have a crowd control problem in Nigeria. Yeah. At every level, we are trying to do recruitment. We lost people to a stampede. Few years back in Abuja, we've always had issues. Church programs, there are always, like, once there's a crowd, there's always a bit of crisis. And that's because the government, right now, the government is perpetually on social media, plenty of people talking and saying, please don't protest. Why? Because we don't have the machinery or the system to manage a protest effectively. We cannot manage our crowd. Things tend to get out of hand. We don't have ways to disperse a crowd without it turning violent. And that is a failure of our system, which we need to address. Not to dodge, not to pray about. How do we address crowd? If you have 2,000 people in front of MTN office, what would the police officer do? What would the security man do? What would the team do? What is the system you have created as an organization to handle unruly crowd in a way that will not degenerate into violence? Yes. We don't have that system, and as long as we don't have the system, in one way or the other, we'll find ourselves back in this kind of situation.
I'm told that Mr. Adegoke is back. Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, please go ahead. You said that, could you confirm to us either that you've asked the telcos to reconnect our lines?
Okay, let me emphasize this. The National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, the mandate does not extend to the regulation of the telecom industry. The telecom sector is not regulated by NCC, and therefore, the information out there is incorrect. NIMC does not have the mandate and the power to instruct any telco or any individual to be disconnected from any telco. We don't have that mandate, and we have not done that.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, let's talk about the NIN and the SIM, the connection. What is going on with that? Why was there a process that was agreed between yourselves and the telcos on how to disengage or how to reconnect these lines?
Okay, thank you for the question. You will recall that the process for the NIN-SIM linkage started a couple of years ago, and Nigerians were adequately informed about the processes for the linking of their NIN to their SIM. And for us at National Identity Management Commission, what we did to provide was to provide to additional centers whereby Nigerians can go there to enroll, get their NIN, and link the NIN to the SIM. And let me put it on record. Our DG, Engineer Biso Ekoko, when she came on board last year, August, what she did was to send additional systems across all our enrollment centers and also open up more centers so that Nigerians can enroll, get their NIN, and use that same NIN to link for their SIM card. So for us in NIMC, we have provided the resources, we have provided the manpower, we have provided all logistics to ensure Nigerians get their NIN, and it now behoves on Nigerians to link that NIN to the SIM. The telcos, through NCC, have provided the processes for linking the NIN to SIM. As of now, what they can do is *996#, and they follow the prompt, and thereafter link their NIN to their SIM card. And for the information of Nigerians, in case you have misplaced your NIN, you can actually retrieve your NIN by dialing *346# on the number you register with NIMC, and get your NIN, and thereafter link your NIN to your SIM. So for us in NIMC, we are ready. Our centers are open. We have additional systems to enroll Nigerians, and across board. And also, let me emphasize this. Enrollment for the NIN is free. Nobody should ask for any money or whatsoever from any applicant. So we encourage Nigerians that have not enrolled to get their NIN and link the NIN to their SIM. So for us in NIMC, our systems are running up and running. Our centers are open. We are open across all the 774 local governments of the Federation, and also, even in the remotest part, you will find NIMCs there. So Nigerians should get their NIN and link it with their SIM.
Right. So I just did *346# and it says that after paying 20 naira, say results could not be represented as an SMS message. This is for retrieval.
Okay. Did you register when you enroll for your NIN, ma? Did you use that particular number?
Yes, the same number. It's on my account linked already.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay, maybe it's but that's the retrieval code *346#.
What I'm just trying to say is that there could be glitches.
Okay.
And these systems are not so perfect. When you say it like that, Nigerians will be wondering in their houses if they experience what I experienced, that who is lying here. That's one. Also, yes. I am aware that for certain processes on the NIN, somebody has to pay some money. So if there's an error in your name, you pay for that correction. If even when you come with your birth certificate, there's a mistake in your birth certificate date, any data entered that was an error, payments are to be made. Kindly confirm or rebut.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Like I said earlier, enrollment for the NIN itself is free across board. However, for modification of data, which include maybe your name, your date of birth, your phone number, your address. Now, a fee will be paid. That fee was approved by the federal government of Nigeria. Now, for every modification field, it is just 500 naira, except the date of birth modification, which attracts 15,000 naira.
Correct.
Every modification is 500 naira. And what we have done now, the DG Engineer Bishop Ekoka and NIMC management, we have come up with a self-service application whereby if you want to modify your data, you don't need to be physically present at any of our centers. All you need to do is just go to the self-service modification at nimc.gov.ng and follow the prompt and modify the data at your convenience. You can do that in your office, at home, on your device, or anywhere you find yourself. So the modification process is seamless now. Okay. You don't need to travel across board to go and modify it. But the fees were approved by the federal government and is 500 naira for every field except that of the date of birth.
Okay, so are you people at the rural areas? Because as of yesterday, when the lines got bad, I tried to reach out to some of my people in the village. I couldn't reach out to them. Because, of course, some of them don't have this NIN, this NIN. They don't have the number. So I'm wondering, how have you guys reached to those people at the remote areas, at those rural areas? I mean, core rural areas.
Oh, okay. I mentioned in my conversation earlier that when the DG Engineer Bishop Ekoka came on board, one of the cardinal points she wanted was to ensure that all Nigerians, irrespective of where you reside, you are enrolled and you get the NIN. And last year, we did revalidation of all our front-end partners, and she asked them to go to the remotest part of the country. So in the rural areas, you will find NIMC Enrollment Center, either by NIMC or by our front-end partners. So across board, we have almost 15,000 enrollment centers across the country. Even in the remotest part, you can find out from mommy or dad in the village. We have enrollment center in every part of the country, in the local government, in the world, across board, in the village. Yes, even in the villages. I come from a village in Osun State, and in my village, we have about 2 enrollment centers managed and operated by the front-end partners. So everywhere in Nigeria, our centers are open. And last year, the DG, we distributed more systems across the federation just to be able to cater for the needs of Nigerians, irrespective of where they live. And I can tell you, I can confirm, please, you can fact check me. We are present in every ward, every local government, every village across the country.
Okay, so Mr. Kayode Adegoke, you seem to be in a different world because all of us have encountered and experienced NIN NIMC service, and there are glitches. There are glitches. I've been to the office several times, and the server was down, and I was told, Alausa, here in Ikeja, that the server, that was last year, the server has been down. This month, the server has not been down, has not worked. Okay. We don't know when the server will come up or go down. But if you want to do this change, go across to this place and pay, and they will do it for you. And I went across to the place, and I paid. Not 500 naira, and they did it for me. So it is, we cannot, it will be wrong for you to come on TV and make it look like, oh, we are everywhere, everything is working. Right now, Nima just tried the code you gave, and there was a glitch. So, and I've also been to MTN office to collect my line. They said they saw my number, but there's an issue on the server. They can't do the linking at the time. I said, is it your server or their server? I said, their server. So there are several issues. Help us right now to understand which of the issues are being addressed, what is causing the issue with the MTN side, where people that have been linked before are now requiring to relink again.
Okay, thank you so much. No system is perfect. And I admit that even in NIMC, we are not saying we are perfect, but we are trying to reach perfection. But you mentioned last year that there were 1 or 2 glitches. Yes, you could have. But this year, just go to any of our centers, go to Alausa Day. Our systems are up and running. We have no glitch. When you enroll now, if it's for enrollment, when you enroll now, within 1 or 2 hours, your name will be issued to you. The only challenge you will have is when you want to modify your data, maybe your date of birth, which takes like 48 hours. That is not instantaneous. That takes like 48 hours. But for the enrollment and issuance of NIN, you get it. When you went to MTN, you said they told you what? Maybe, you know, it's easier for people to pass bulk. For us in NIMC, we don't pass bulk. Once we are wrong, we admit. What we are saying is that for verification of your NIN, it could be a network problem, not necessarily NIMC, because our verification service is up and running. Every day, millions of verification is being carried out on our National Verification Service system. So I'm not saying that we are perfect or the system is perfect. But if you look at it, we issued a statement. We have tried to improvise on our existing system and our infrastructure architecture. Every day we have been modernizing it. We have been trying to improve on it so that we can serve.
Oh, okay.
We should not lose him.
This is our
Need him back.
He has not addressed the...
Please. Hello, Mr. Adegoke. Okay, so we're having a bit of technical issue. Same issue. Mr. Adegoke.
Yes.
We didn't hear the last few things you said. Would like to repeat?
Okay, I said NIMC has come up with many strategies in the last couple of months to ensure a seamless modification process and even enrollment process. And one of it is the self-service modification application, whereby an applicant for modification does not need to go to our center to do any modification. All you need to do is at the comfort of your homes or offices, you can actually modify your data on your device, either on your phone.
All right. Let me, Mr. Adegoke, are you there? Because I have callers coming in right now. Let me pause you for a second. We're losing you back and forth, but I want to take Elizabeth's call because we need our Nigerians to call in to ask you questions. Good morning, Elizabeth. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Murayo.
Go ahead, please. Good morning.
I'm calling from Abuja. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Please, I want to talk to the man. I want to tell him something. I have gone to do my change of date of birth since January 7th or 9th. And up till now, it has not been detected.
Wow.
It has not been changed. And I just heard him say in less than 24 hours, if it's concerning your date of birth, it will be activated. But it has not been changed since January. He said 15,000 naira. That was what I said, Morayo. Until now, the date of birth has not been changed. Please, can you give more clarification on that? Nima, good morning. I love you. Okay, good morning. Hawa, good morning.
Happy Hawa, no. That's you, Hawa. Thank you, Elizabeth. Ms. Adegoke, did you get her question? Hello, Mr. Kayode.
Okay, it's not gone.
Mr. Adegoke.
Hello, Madam Morayo. Can I respond to the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. I want to find out from the caller if she's still on. Where did you do the modification? Because what we learned is that some of the applicants would rather go to patronize the front-end partners who are not eligible, who are not approved to do modification. And we have seen cases like that. We have put out information that, look, modification then last year can only be done across our state offices, not any front-end partners. And that is why I'm really sorry if your modification has lingered for long. For us now, modification takes an average of 48 hours and it's done. And that's why the DG came up with the self-service modification app, which is the self-service modification at nimc.gov.ng. Please, you can try it. You can fact check me and come back to the show. If I've come to lie to you, you can fact check me. Within 48 hours, it will be done. I'm really sorry for the caller. If you did it out and said that it has not been done. And as our last year, we also put out an information that if it's beyond 5 years, if the change of date of birth is beyond 5 years, the process is longer because it goes through so many checks. It goes through so many checks. Because we discovered that some Nigerians will come and falsify their age. So government said, okay, we want to cross-check to be sure that truly the date of birth modification is accurate and
they need to work on their internet.
I agree with Mr. Adebuke on the
5 years.
the age.
1 year,
My brother is
understand.
dealing with some name correction at the age, the 15,001, and it's taking a while. Also, I would like him to address what Tokwe said, because I had that experience. Well, 3 of...
Let me be sure he's still there. Mr. Adekoke, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, Nima has, go ahead.
This deployment by your staff members, this is the same Alausa office I had the experience, one Tokwe mentioned. They will ask us to go across somewhere, to go and do something. I came in for a reprinting of my NIN card, so I kept it in the bag, I lost the document. So I just went in to reprint it. I had done my NIN 2014, as I mentioned. And they just directed me to go somewhere that I was forced to pay. That one told me I must do one remitter generation. Directed me to a bank. And you're mentioning ease here. I'm wondering, why do I have to trek all the whole place and allow us finding where to park?
Sorry about that. Was it our staff that directed you from Alasa?
I was inside your office. They directed me to one kiosk outside. They refused to attend to me. They directed me outside. Until I finished that process, I went back with a photocopy of that document before they reprinted my NIN inside.
Okay. That was last year?
No, 3 or 4 years back.
Oh, so sorry. No, I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I told you that the process has changed now.
There are plenty
and let me say, Madam Murayo and Madam Awa and others, let me say this, and I'm not mincing words. Since last year, August, ever since the DG came on board, I told you we have streamlined all our processes. We are not saying we are perfect. Yeah. We are not saying we don't have 1 or 2 challenges. However, the processes now are quite different from what it used to be years back. We have modernized our equipment, we have improved on our infrastructure, and even our staff. There is what we call ongoing staff training, customer service, so that we can serve Nigerians better. And I'm happy for the feedback we are receiving now. This is an avenue for us to go back and also improve on existing structure. But for now, I can tell you, we have improved on our process, and it's getting better. That I can tell you.
Okay. All right. I'm just... So now, let me... A final question before I let you go. I expect that you're expecting a crowd to come into your office in the next few days because of what happened recently with the bar from MTN and other telcos. People have been redirected to your office. How prepared are you for the influx of more people coming to your office for complaints?
We are readily prepared, more than prepared. In fact, one of the things NIMC foresaw around maybe 3-4 months ago was this. And that's why I told you that the DG bought more system and distributed across all the state of the federations and local government so as to be able to take care of this upsurge. For us, we are because, sometimes, I'm sorry to say this, Nigerians will wait till the last minute. So we knew it's likely to happen. That's why we distributed more systems so as to be able to take care of the upsurge. So for us, we are more than prepared. We have enough systems on ground and we have enough hands to take care of the upsurge. And also, let me emphasize this. For children, we don't want them to wait till they need it. Enrollment for the NIN is open to all Nigerians, irrespective of the age. We have started running the communication campaign now that children should go and enroll and get the NIN. And also, if you have a child, and the child has been enrolled when the child was less than 16. The moment the child turns 16, the child should go back to our office to do what we call a migration of data. Because when the child was captured without a fingerprint. Yeah. Now, once the child is 16, the child fingerprint will be captured. So we started a campaign too. And we will also want you to help us engage Nigerians that they should enroll their NIN, irrespective of their child, irrespective of the age. And also, any child that has been enrolled prior to 16 years, once the child turns
In fact,
16, the child should go to any of our offices to do what we call migration of data from... Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Migration of data from a child to an adult.
Okay.
So for the first question, we are more than ready to take the upsurge of Nigerians across all our centers.
Let me take a call for you.
Enrollment is free.
Okay.
We are
You said that before.
emphasizing it.
Yeah.
Enrollment
It's free. You need to work on your
Which of
internet,
these
Mr.
telcos
Kai.
is
Wait,
providing
let me
the
take
data?
Linus. Linus from Ikeja. He's been holding on for a second. Mr. Adegoke, are you there? I want to be sure you hear his question. Mr. Adegoke.
I am here.
Okay.
I am here.
We have a caller. Linus, thanks for calling. You're
Yes,
live.
I'm here, ma'am.
Linus from Ikeja, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Please, I want to ask him pertaining the of name, because it's only talking about date of birth that is attracting a fee. How about change of name? Because I'm having issue with that, and I went to the office in Alausa. What they told me in Alausa was I have to go to the bank and pay certain amount, then go to where generate is it RR or something like that. So I don't know. He made mention of only date of birth that is attracting a fee. How about change of name?
Change of name. Okay, let me ask him. Mr. Adegoke, did you get that? What change of name? How much does that attract? You have to...
Yes, I mentioned earlier.
Mr. Adegoke, you need to find a new Telecom.
Modification.
We can't hear you. Okay, so let me write that question down. Once his connection is back, that's for change of name, Abi. I have another caller. Please call Mr. Engineer. Good morning, sir. I have another caller.
Good morning. Good morning, Murayo.
Good morning, sir. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, my problem is I did my NIN at their office in Alausa.
Okay.
Just the same year they started, I think 2014 or whatever year it was then. And up till today, we couldn't get the card.
Oh,
it is appalling. I was there. I've been there more than 5-10 times.
We need to talk about the card.
Just going to that office, coming in and out. Please, what can Adegoke do?
Okay. Mr. Adegoke, are you there? Are you back?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, so let me give you two questions very quickly. How much is it for change of name, number one? Number two, what's going on with the cards? Many people can't access the cards. They're not getting the cards.
Even the earliest registrars.
The earliest registrars can't get the cards.
You just have a slip.
Two questions. Go ahead, sir. Good morning. Hello, Mr. Adegoke. Are you there? I think we should take our show to their office. It's just down the street. Just across the road. Mr. Adegoke, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Now
yes,
we
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, I said a change of name attracts 500 naira only.
Okay, okay.
Change of name, change of phone number, change of address, and every other modification attracts a fee of 500 naira only, except the date of birth, which is 15,000 naira.
Gotcha.
Then
the card, yes.
Yes, for the card, we issued a statement recently that we are coming out with an improved version of the general multipurpose card. Very, very soon, the card will be launched. And this card, the system is going to be different from the past, whereby we printed millions of cards, and yet Nigerians didn't come forward to pick them up.
This time around,
yes, we did. No, we did. We sent SMS, we sent email. In fact, some we personally called. But this time around, once the new card is launched, what we will do is the applicant will be the one to request for the card directly. So at the request of the applicant, the card will now be printed, personalized, and given to the applicant. So very, very soon, the improved version of the general multipurpose card will be launched, and Nigerians can apply.
So as a follow-up, those of us that have the previous cards, would that then become redundant? We have to get the new card.
For those of you that what you would do, man, is you can go to our office or any office, or even we are coming out with an online platform whereby online you can apply for it. You can even ask to be delivered to your doorstep, so that will be done. You can also go to your bank branches, because this time around we are partnering with the CBN, NIMC, and the banks to issue the general multipurpose card. So for the people that have the old card, you will have to apply and get this new one. That's the process
Sister
now.
Adegoke,
We don't want to only...
Sister Adegoke,
Yes,
these
ma'am.
cards that you're mentioning, are they those long printed temporary ones that were given?
No.
Were you giving cards? Were you giving a card?
No,
like
I got a card.
No messages was
No.
That has passed now. They have a new one now. They have a new one.
I'm surprised that
No,
saying
no.
that they reached out.
Hey, that one
I
has
kept
passed.
calling for it.
That one has passed. They have a new card now.
But
Let us move
Mr.
forward.
Adegoke, why are we applying to get the card?
So that they will not print
Okay.
it stored.
When are we applying? Once the card
why
will be
should we
launched
apply?
very soon. No, let me say the card will be launched very, very soon.
Okay.
Once the card is launched, the process for the application will be made known to Nigerians.
Okay.
But I can tell you, one of it is that you can apply for the card through any of our offices. Also, you can apply for the card through any of your bank branches. For instance, if you bank with Bank A and your branch is in Ikeja, you can go to your branch in Ikeja, apply for it. And also, we also come out with an online platform. So it will be multiple platforms whereby you can apply for the card. So we want the process to be seamless and to be absolute free.
When you say multi-purpose, what does that mean?
Multi-purpose means the card, apart from serving as a physical identity token, it can also be used for financial transactions.
What about BVN?
Yes, you can be used for instance, you can use it to withdraw money, you can use it to make payments. So that's why we call it a multi-purpose card. Apart from serving as a physical identification token, yes, it can also serve as a means of financial transaction. Yes.
Nice. Let me take this call. Aderemi calling from Ota.
Yes.
You're
Good morning, Morayo.
Good morning, sir.
Well done, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I want Mr. Adegoke to take note. I want Mr. Adegoke to take note that when I did the change additional name for my daughter, I spent over 20,000 naira.
Sorry.
Each time you go to their office, there will be a lot of people, and they will tell you that there is no network. So you have to go another day. They will ask you to go on Monday, come on Monday. When you go on Monday, they will ask you to come on Wednesday. And to go to the office for each trip is 3,000 naira. No. Then we were asked to pay officially 5,000 naira just to add Ireoluwa to my daughter's name. Just to add one name to my daughter's name, we paid 5,000 naira. Officially, unfortunately, there was still no network until a woman told us that we should come on Sunday. So when we went on Sunday, we had to pay another 5,000 naira again before it was eventually done for her.
Okay, thank you.
So sorry about that. That's an extortion. And that's one of the things the DG is working as seriously hard to clamp down on. In fact, recently, some of our staff have been dismissed. Some have been given suspension. And in fact, the DG frowned at it, I can tell you that. And that's why we have put up communication that any Nigerians that was asked to pay above every fee, actually for modification, and you are asked to pay a token for NIN, which is free, feel free to contact us on our customer care line. I will read out the customer care line on this platform now. 0700 3255.
No rush it.
No rush it. Okay, take it easy. Say it again.
Okay. 0700
0700
3255
255
646.
646. Okay, we'll try to call it and see if anybody answers.
I hope he's
Or
active.
0700
Okay.
2255
Go on.
646.
Okay. So the reason why we're even taking the numbers is because Nigerians have issues, and we're hoping that these numbers can actually help them to address the issues they're having.
Okay, so
we also have our email platform. You can also reach us on our email.
Wait. Come and pay TVC for more publicity. When you need
Let me just ask you this question. The current
we are.
One second, Mr. Adegoke, please let me get
the current challenge that Nigerians are facing, where their numbers have been bad, I know that it doesn't directly involve NIMC.
Yes.
But it is. You are also involved one way or the other. Is there any? How can we provide? How can NIN, the NIMC platform, supports Nigerians who are struggling to get a way to ensure they are linked, especially for those that they need to revalidate their NIN number. Is the revalidation issue still a valid issue that must be done? Is the lack of clear picture, you know, some people did in 2014 and maybe the picture wasn't so clear, some was done in black and white and they need to do this revalidation, take new pictures. Is the process of doing this now easy to do right from your phone without going to visit the NIN office so that finally linking with your line will be seamless?
Okay, let me say this. You know what the people call the validation or revalidation? It's a wrong use of word. There is nothing like validation for NIMC. What we do is verification and authentication of the name. And what we also notice is that some people will give, for instance, I'll give an example. They will say Kayode Morayo Adegoke for NIM. When they go to MTN, for instance, to put out the name, they will say, hey, Morayo Adegoke. So by the time they now put out their name for verification and authentication, there will be a mismatch. Because here is Kayode, that place is K. So we don't know if you are truly the person. So that is when the modification of data comes into place. And that's why you don't need to visit our office to go and modify your data. The self-service app, which is the self-service modification at nimc.gov.ng, is there for you to access. You can do it at the comfort of your house and modify your data. And within 24 hours, if it's not date of birth, it will be done. If it's date of birth, yes, ma'am.
Let me ask you this question, or maybe give you this advice. Do you think it would have been nice for NIMC, knowing that some of these telcos would be disconnecting lines by a certain date? Would it have been a nice idea for you to put offices or put your people in those telcos? So if they're having issues of their reconnection, instead of driving all the way to Alausa, there's somebody from NIMC right there at either MTN office or either at the 9 Mobile office or the Glow office. Somebody, just like you have 15,000 across the nation, we might as well redeploy some of that to these telco offices so that they're on ground. So people don't have to now to stress to go to your office just to get the validation done.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for the question. Across all telco offices, we have enrollment center there. All the telcos are NIMC-fronted partners. So they have enrollment center in each of those offices. So they don't even need to come to NIMC office. For instance, if you go to any of the telcos on, let's use Allen Avenue or Pebi, when you go there, you will see...
I was there, Mr. Kayode, I was there yesterday. The old woman was asked, let me not mention the name of the business, but me, I was on Allen Avenue yesterday. An old woman was asked to go to a NIMC office to go and do verification.
I mean,
modification.
Whatever it's
modification. Okay, let me put it this way. Our front-end partners are not licensed now, including the telcos, to do modification of data.
Okay.
They can only enroll and give you your name. Okay. And if you have misplaced your name, they can give it to you there. Okay. However, for modification of data,
you need to get back to the office. Okay. That's
what we have done now is we have even told applicants and Nigerians, don't go to our office to do your modification. Your modification should be done by yourself on your mobile device and at the comfort of your office. You don't need to visit our office any longer. So we have issued other information. So the self-service modification app is working. So if the telco asks you to, what we will do, and thank God for this feedback, what we will do is that we'll try and get posters and possibly banners across all these telcos so that people can actually know what to do instead of going to our office to go and do.
We have a few messages on our online.
Let's give you comments on social media, Mr. Adegoke.
Adenike Odumuyiwa says the number is not going. Those numbers you gave, I want to believe it's presently being bombarded by calls. Maybe that's why. But
the numbers are going maybe because of the calls, the number of calls.
Okay. Oluwasegun Jinodu says presently the mobile app is down. Do you have a mobile app and is it working?
No, the mobile app is working. The person should check the connection, the connectivity where he or she is. The self-service modification at nimc.gov.ng is working perfectly. For every modification is 24 hours, then date of birth 48 hours.
Okay, thank you, sir.
There is no human interface.
Somebody said the card comes with panel. Hope the machine that can read it is in place because at the pension office, they claim it doesn't have NIN number. I'm not really sure I understand that.
Okay, so a lot of people are confirming that SMSs were sent, so I don't know what happened to me. Yeah, privately, a family friend has also sent a message that SMS was sent to them and they got their card, collected their card based on that. But I registered 2014. I've been trying to get my card and I have not even gotten an SMS. So I'm one of the...
Somebody says, Mariah, I think the agency can create an app to capture biometrics through smartphones. This is doable and it reduced the overcrowding at centers. Yeah. Indiscipline was reduced under Buhari and Idi Agbon regime, but we lost it thereafter. This is the responsibility of each household to instill discipline in their wards. We need to restore our ethos of yesteryears in all the facets of our national lives. Hatred and anger are more pronounced in our society, and this was not so in the past. We all need to work on ourselves and restore our lost ethos.
So there's an important glitch that must be corrected. Patience says, Irene says, I have called the NIMC customer service number several times, but it never goes through. In fact, I went to their office at Etiosa local government, and they told me to target calling at 8 a.m. Do you think you need more numbers?
Phone number.
Okay. Thank you so much now. I told you no system is perfect. One of the things the management of NIMC, led by Engineer Biso Ikoka, is trying to do now is to improvise on our structure. So our customer care line, we're expanding it. So it's going to be like a model. In the next few months, maybe 1 or 2 months now, we'll expand it to receive thousands of calls at the same time. Because every day, because NIMC caters for millions of Nigerians, and on a daily basis, we receive thousands of calls from across the country. So for us, we will improve on that. That's a feedback for us. Then, to answer the question that was asked by someone earlier, that we should come up with an app that you can actually enroll. Yes, we told you no system is perfect. It's
Okay.
Obviously, the system is not perfect.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I said no system is perfect until we reach our goal. We're actually working towards getting an app whereby Nigerians can enroll without visiting our center, but that is still a work in progress system. Once that is done, we'll let Nigerians know.
Let's take a few comments and we're done. Let's send any other comments on social media so we can wrap up with Mr. Adekoke.
Most on YouTube.
Okay, I think I'll let Mr. Adekoke go at this point, but I think really...
Okay.
Let me let you have a no, we are about to wrap up with you, but let me let Nima jump in.
Okay.
Akonde Muritala says, it is not always 500 naira as claimed. A lot of agents are outside exploiting.
So just make sure your agents are not exploiting Nigerians because you told us 15,500 naira.
Let me say this. Nigerians should not go to agents to go to our offices. The agents are only permitted or they have the approval to only enroll and issue the NIN. Every other services should be done at our offices, state offices. And for the information of Nigerians, if you want to know NIMC offices closer to you, you can go to our website, www.nimc.gov.ng. You will see all approved NIMC centers closer to you. The FPPs are not approved by NIMC management to do modification or to do any other service except enrollment and issuance of the national identification number.
Thank you. All right.
Nigerians should be aware of this.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adekoke. Let me let you go at this point. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much, Madam Morayo, Madam Awa, and others.
Ramatu. and Nima.
Okay. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we continue with this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So over the weekend, a video went viral showing the daughter of the president, the Aloja of Lagos. She was telling Nigerians not to go out to protest. According to her, let me try to get her, what she said specifically here. She mentioned that Let me try to get. It says that Iyaloja General emphasized the dangers of joining the hashtag and bad governance process. She emphasized on the significant progress made by the Lagos state government and called for patience and the federal government, led by her father. Join us right now. She'll be joining us a bit later to shed more light on this. But that video went viral because obviously people had issues with her asking parents to have their children not come out for the protest. We'd like to hear her own views on why she thought it was necessary to come out to say that to people. But before that, I'd like to hear your own thoughts when you saw that video. She was urging market women in the state to prevent their children from participating in the planned protest. And we've discussed earlier that, we've said yesterday that protesting is a constitutional right of every Nigerian. So why would anybody ask you not to protest? But what are your thoughts? I think she'll be joining us in a few moments. I'm not sure if she'll
play the video, but
I wanted to play the video, but I'm hoping that because it's in Yoruba, but I'm sure that Nima can help us translate. But before the video comes, go ahead.
So when I saw that video, I really didn't pay attention to it because I felt she was addressing familiar faces, family members. And, you know, we hear it every time. Now, even I am saying to my neighbors, I must not see your kids join any protest. Come on, you know, let nobody injure your kids because we are afraid, having this experience and trauma of NSAS, that people will be injured or people will hijack it. We always say, no, don't let your child be the victim or the one caught in such a chaos. So lock your child. Is a normal slogan. So I didn't pay much attention to what she said. I felt she was addressing familiar faces, people within her space like every other person is doing. But what I did not find funny was that there was a protest to say no protest. That one.
They just mails it up.
Of irony. You know, I felt like I just laughed when I saw the video online yesterday sitting in traffic. I was like, did they protest make on a no protest? I said, how is that possible? But you know,
did you see one northern one that
Niger State?
Yes, Niger State. They all came out with placards. One was even carrying her own. It was upside down. She didn't even know. She was just carrying it. You could tell that those ones, they just gave them as it was sponsored. So you could tell that it was sponsored.
I am, like Nima said, the Iyaloja has a right to have a conversation with her constituents. These are people that have signed up to advice and our counsel. And many people are having, even my mom called me and said, on Thursday, sit down inside your house, so that kind of thing. Like, if, parents are talking to their children to say, yes, you might feel aggrieved and want to join the protest, but you don't understand the entirety of what is going on, don't get involved. So I feel it is appropriate for the Iyaloja to talk to the market people because they are involved in the marketplace and they are at risk if anything goes wrong, being that based on where they are positioned. We don't want you to lose your children, talk to people, don't get involved. That's advice from
an
elderly person to people that respect her. The one that worries me is the level of... So on this show, I said, even me, I'm worried about the protest getting hijacked. But it seems to be like a concerted effort to talk about it over and over again that the protest is going to get hijacked, that even you that want to protest before, you will not start feeling like, if I did not want to do again, say, I must do this thing they're saying. So I think that we might end up getting more aggravation with the level of clampdown. They are trying to clamp down on this protest taking place. I also join voices with those that are saying the president should speak, especially since there are many people around him talking on his behalf, that he should also address the nation concerning.
But we've always said that, how come government doesn't have intelligence? They don't have intelligence. They have intelligence that something's going to happen, and they're trying to stop it. And now we're also complaining that they're trying to, because we say there's no communication to tell us, you know, they'd have told us, because, again, as I said, I'm getting frustrated as a Nigerian because I'm really getting tired that what exactly do we want? If these people don't say, I have intelligence, and they keep quiet and allow the protest to happen, and something happens, we'll question them. Did they not know? Because I remember when NSAS happened, we asked that, did they not see intelligence? Did they not get information that this is going to happen? And to prevent the carnage that happened. So in this situation, they are saying we have intelligence that some people want to hijack this peaceful protest. In view of that, we're asking that please avoid it. So we get that part. But if they do not, we're complaining that they're
during NSAS, there was intelligence, and we did not have respect anymore for authority. The governors, particularly Lagos, and some other states, and the police then were saying there was a possible hijack of the protest.
Yeah.
And Nigerians felt it was a method to prevent the protest, forcing them to end it. So you will hear people say, then catch the hijackers, go and find them, as if when they are in your midst and they are mixed with the crowd, they can be selected like bees and stone. You know, the government was saying it, but there was a lack of respect for authority, and Nigerians continued. We saw Governor Sanwo-Olu being pelted with pure water during the NSAS, and he was one of those who went out to meet them. They later gave him a what's it called? Conclusion. What's it called?
Demands.
Failing me right now. Their demands.
List
of demands that he should take to the president. Which, you know, we saw all those videos, but he was so disrespected. I can't even believe authority would be that. And he made attempt to interface. So when somebody makes an attempt to interface and we take it and say, okay, we don't catch him. This is the one we must drag. You know, we saw a lot of things. You know, and somebody was saying online that the NSAS the protest started after the shooting. I was not here when the shooting happened. We were trying to get home. It was getting heightened. And I paid all the way. And I was still accosted at Abule Ado by some boys. I did not know who, where, and what. And I prevented from getting home. You know, so we saw all of this happen before the shooting that night. And so we saw all of this. It was getting heightened. And this is what everybody fears. And all of us cannot have the same account of one experience of... It's my account that I will tell you. It's your own that you will tell me. But we saw that happen. And so when this information, intelligence that I mentioned is given, what do you do with it? What you do with it is what you hear. Dr. Tosi yesterday was sending me audio from America. Hey, all your children, all of you locked doors, stay indoors. So it's what
I found bizarre is that I remember that when this whole issue of inflation, people making on prices and then increasing their prices in the markets came up, we saw that the Oni of Ife came out to try to get people to stop doing all these things and stop this arbitrary increase of prices. We didn't see Yaloja of Lagos come and say anything, to come and instruct the market women on how to ensure. We didn't hear her. Even though the time that I think Commissioner for Agriculture, someone was shouting at them at that Lagos market mission, saying that we have given you at discounted prices, sell to Nigerians at this discounted prices. They were working against the good of the people. We didn't hear Yaloja come out. Suddenly, protests happened and we are hearing her voice. So Nigerians are asking, why now?
It's possible she was talking to her people. And you know the way media works. You took the story yesterday where they said everybody have traveled out. We did not take that all the institutions are on their usual break.
But why are we avoiding this thing? It's because it's her father that is the president. That's why she came out to talk. And she knows.
So would you talk for your father was the president? Wouldn't you come and talk and say, please, don't protest, don't come and disrupt the government?
Well, that one, you know, the price zone, the high price zone is different. But of course, because it's her dad, that's why she's coming out to plead with people. Because even this guy, dark man, black man, very dark man, he even told her that, please help us beg daddy. Temikemu beg daddy, please, that you should please help us. The economic situation is people are suffering, people can't eat and all. So they all explained all of these things to her. And to a large extent, to me, I don't think I don't support protest because of what happened the last time. Immediately I heard this protest, me and my friend, we sat down, we're thinking of how to protect our offices and our shops.
Which is our concern.
Yes. And we started thinking of getting OPC to come and protect this thing from, you know, because it was...
I know somebody who was supposed to travel this weekend. They changed their flight to today. Exactly. Leaving the country today.
You see, the NSAS own, when it happened, at some point, they said they had already dialogued with the government, and as of that time, some of the celebrities were now saying, leave the toll gate, leave the toll gate, leave the toll gate. But they didn't leave the toll gate. They still stayed
that's
there.
when it is like that. It will go beyond the organizers.
That was when
something is taken out of you, you can't control it anymore. AY was there, holding flag with them, and he was one of those trying to leave, saying leave. Those people left. People stayed back because they believed they lacked trust for wherever the information was coming from, and they stayed back. And
we're supposed to have Yaloja, that's Mrs. Folashade Tinubu on the show, but for some reason I'm not able to get her. I'm not sure why she's not able to come on the show, but we really wanted her to be on the show to answer a few questions. But there's something that Tokwe said I'd like us to go back to. Nigerians are asking Mr. President to come and address us on this matter. I mean, some will argue the man is busy doing his job, running the country. He's signing the bill for the minimum wage. He's working to resolving Dangote issue. There are real issues he's solving. He doesn't want to be distracted. But others are saying this issue can spiral out of focus. So we need him to come out. So do you think the president should come out to address Nigerians on this matter?
100%, yes.
He should address Nigeria.
Why do we always have this issue of president? Anytime we have this kind of issue, presidents don't want to come out and address
the advisors advise them not to.
But when it's time for election, they come out and they talk to us.
They eat corn.
So why is it that when it's time, when there's problem, they can't even come out and address Nigeria?
Could it be because there's no there's nobody they're talking to? They feel like
So the thing is, this thinking of there's no organized, they don't need, we cannot organize the hunger. Do you understand? Like, there cannot be an organized, I don't need to know who is in another street that is talking about the protest. If I wasn't on TV, just by the fact, if I did not feel like it might get hijacked or I might not be safe, I would want to join the walk.
Where do you concerning
how?
Who told you where you're going to?
I'm sure they'll allow her. They'll definitely be in allow her.
You don't know that, so you know, but the guy, the other person, your neighbor, who has no idea, who doesn't watch TV, has no clue. Wants to join protest.
We will see it on.
So
online, what has been coming up on on X over and over again is that we want to take a walk against hunger.
From where to where?
Obviously. I want to join a walk against hunger. No, let me just say, I want to join a walk against hunger because I feel that there is more hunger in town now than before. So I would love to join that walk so that the government will see that I sincerely believe that I want to pressure the government to do all they can do and even much more to provide and make food affordable. However, when the government is saying I cannot talk to them because we don't know their leader, it's not I cannot talk to them because we don't know their leader. Yeah. The average young person on Twitter is saying I want to go out, my transport fare has tripled in the past 1 year. Yeah. So I don't care who is the leader. Me, Seth, I want to join the streets. So, the woman that called said, my children cannot eat yam. I cannot afford to buy it. She said she wants to join the streets. So who is the leader of that person?
So let me try
address the hunger in town.
Let me try to respond to that in a second. Absolutely right. Nobody needs any leader to do anything, to walk on the streets, to protest. But there is no revolution. There is no war. There's no protest that does not end at a conversation table. Somebody at some point, after all of us gone crazy, somebody will say, okay, let us sit down. Somebody told us, reminded us yesterday, that a few people tried to do that during the answers, and people said, no, you're not our leader. Because, so where does this stop? So what we need to learn from our fathers who protested in the past is that there is a system to every single thing. We can't just say, we are all crazy, we are all going to go to the streets. There has to be a process, because if not, we'll have a banana republic. Countries that protest, there's got to be a line that is drawn.
Except we consider reading a script and addressing issues by the president has been engaging Nigerians. Since the notification and all the hardship outcry, he has signed the Minimum Wage Act. He has removed duty to, at least if our local producers are not producing enough, remove duty, let the food be many. If there's plenty, demand will reduce, there will be adequate supply, people would buy cheaper. He has done that. He has also done something this morning I took gladly in the papers, reduce the price of rice. Hopefully that will influence our farmers because we eat only local, and then they would also drop prices. We're seeing the president's action, policy by policy reacting. But you want to, you should come and read paper and talk to us Nigerians. Maybe when he lines out all those things and reads it, that's when we're reading papers.
Even
because
there's a message here. You know that Mr. President can come out today and talk, and Nigerians they're not going to back.
They will do.
Exactly. So it's not about him talking. We have the time. It's not about whatever he says.
Let's see
the place says that.
I would prefer more action than words.
Yeah.
The place says that when they campaign, they no find leader.
They no find leader. Yes.
That's what the place is saying. So that also answers that question of why is there leader? They did not look for who the leader is.
I don't understand that.
There were some leaders.
Yeah, you're comparing oranges and mangoes. Oranges and apples.
What I would just say.
You're going to vote. Nigerians, every vote would count. That's
a statement.
Yeah.
When you vote for,
I don't need to discuss with you to agree on who you vote for.
You know, but when you're protesting that something should change, your entire demands has to be tabled, itemized, and addressed. And then all we are just doing is we are just shouting. It's like when we used to be in class and we're all shouting, the teacher would say, I cannot hear anybody.
The challenge now
Send your leader to me and let us talk about it.
Yes. Everybody now that are organized are pulling out from the protests. The Igbo youths have pulled out from the protests.
They're not organized. They're not part of the organizers.
They are saying we are not.
Yes, they are not part of the organizer. They're just saying we're not part of it.
No, they are saying these collections, those groups are saying, all the groups have pulled out, NLC has pulled out, and everybody is saying, so who is left to do the protest? Like I've already said, I'm not in support of anything that because I'm worried about. We've seen how Nigerians can get. Any little thing, they'll start pulling down fence or pulling down something. We don't need that right now. We want peace to reign. We want businesses to continue to thrive. And truthfully, I believe the government has made a show of response to what is the agitations of people with the signing of the bill, providing food, but we have a trust deficit. Mariah, we've discussed this several times. The Nigerians don't trust the system, but at what point will you trust? If you choose, you have to sow a seed of, I am going to trust that this thing will work for me. It is not going to be based on evidence. It's going to be based on hope and trusting that my trust will not be betrayed. That's the appeal that everybody is making now because we want peace to reign. The cost of fixing that MTN office and all the places that they destroyed just within few hours yesterday, who is going to bear that cost? Which is why we are worried that if they do this protest now and they destroy anything, who will bear the cost?
MTN office, how would your line get reconnected? Like, you go there and scatter their tables, scatter everything because you're angry. Now, when the dust now settles, how would you reconnect your
connection will even take longer because they need...
Exactly. So we think, so my point is that we can choose to go crazy, but we must also remind ourselves that let us see how it's done. If we want to protest, what I would rather us do is whoever is putting this together, come out and say, guys, we are protesting. I think there was one of the protests that they did many years ago, where they said, we are moving from Alausa to this place. We are walking, and then the police will come there, protect them. They'll get the police approval, then you walk and it's peaceful. That I would support, that I would participate in. But protest that we have no idea what's going on, just protest. Protest where to where? What exactly are you looking for? Sure. So we need to remind ourselves to do the things right way, because when you say, do it as it's done.
Don't become a
pawn. So we know.
Don't become a pawn. Don't become a pawn.
The story of Solomon.
Yeah, we have to go, unfortunately.
One woman claimed the child, the other woman said...
Kill him.
One was willing to kill the child to divide because she had no stake.
Thank you very much for that. That's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.